Hey, this is Wileen Benson, and you are on the Daily Gratitude Call, where we start every day in gratitude. Gratitude is the highest energy state that we can be in. It creates a frequency of positive vibration that attracts positive experiences into our lives. Hey everybody, this is Wileen Benson. This is our Daily Gratitude Call. Thank you for joining our call today. I want to welcome everybody, those who are here live and also those who are listening on the podcast. I was excited to see on SoundCloud, which is where I post the recording, and then all the other podcasts get posted, podcast platforms get posted after that. So I kind of just check SoundCloud usually, but there were like 3 times the number of plays over this past week than in the past, I would say probably 4 weeks. And so it was just really very joyful to my heart to see that lots more people are listening. And I'm just so grateful for those who go back. Maybe you're here live and you go back and re-listen, or you're sharing and helping other people to feel in gratitude as well. And anyway, I just want to express my gratitude for the extra effort that you and everyone are putting into building a life of gratitude, starting your day out with gratitude and living a life of gratitude. It must help to uplift the energy of the planet. And I'm just super grateful for that. For today, there were lots of different things shared. And I also have kind of on my mind, I'm going to be doing my masterclass a little bit later today, 1:00 p.m. Mountain Time. Today's February 17th, Wednesday, February 17th. And so if you have not registered for that, I encourage you to go to any of my social media platforms and you can grab that registration link. I just did a post late last night that showcases all the experts in healing that I've invited to be part of this masterclass as well. It's a little slightly different format. It's going to be more like a healing experience. And so I've got that on my heart, and also some of the things that everyone else shared. I just see the greater plan that God has for all of us, and the experiences that we have, the learning experiences, the consequences that we get to experience because of the choices that we make. Just that the greater plan, and the word strategic came to me, strategic plan. We create sometimes strategic plans for our lives for, something that we're trying to create or whatever, but there is a strategic plan that trumps everything beyond what we can create a strategic plan for. We have a strategic plan, and sometimes there are other things that come and get in the way of that strategic plan, because ours is an earthly plan and God's is an eternal plan. And I'm really grateful for that. Grateful that He has bigger knowledge than I do and can see more of the future and the things that I need to be prepared for and all of those things. So I'm just really grateful for my experiences. And I'm going to be sharing a tool with you today that will help you to really step into that gratitude for that greater strategic plan as well. So I hope that you're all planning on joining me today at 1:00. So for today, I'm going to set the timer for 90 seconds. We're going to do a private silent meditation, gratitude for strategic plan, not strategic planning. I had that at first, but that didn't feel right. So I took off the ing and it's just the strategic plan, gratitude for a strategic plan. So I've got the timer set for 90 seconds. We're going to do a private silent meditation on gratitude for a strategic plan, and just write down whatever comes to you. Begin. All right. Well, I already shared my strategic plan is like my earthly vision, what I can see and plan according to what I know. But inspiration is always can be added to the information that I already know. And I know that there is a better strategic plan that could be created if I am open, to be guided by that higher knowledge. And I used to have to know all the ins and outs of the plan. Like I was a really good leader. I was always like the committee leader or whatever, because I could take all the pieces and I could put it together into a great strategic plan. And I am really good at that. But I've learned that I don't have to know all the details now. It used to give me comfort to know all the details. But now all I have to know is that God knows all the details, and His strategic plan is in place, whether I know the details or not. So those were the thoughts that came to me. Robert, and then Phil.
Essentially, what you're saying is you used to be, whether you still are or not, the camp director.
Yes.
Yeah, strategic plan or strategic planning, even though you got rid of the ing on there. I can't remember. I apologize. Somebody mentioned the word tapping. Mm-hmm. And since I've been tapping for 52 years, I tapped strategic planning into my life, only to look back and go, oh my gosh, it worked. I mean, I didn't set it out to. It was from a sexual assault that I didn't know what to do with that started tapping my face into my pillow. But while I did that, I strategically planned my life out through ultimately millions of taps to my face. So there's validity in the strategic planning being strategic in your planning, because it's like the old saying, be careful what you think
what you
about,
wish for. Yeah.
or what you wish for. It just might happen, and there's no reason why, for me, tapping a strategic plan wouldn't work, and it did. So yes.
Beautiful. I love that, just thinking about that idea that there is a greater overarching strategic plan at work, even if we are not aware of the thoughts and the, visions or, vision board, however we're used to manifesting and creating. There is a greater overarching strategic plan that sometimes ideas will come, and in the form of inspiration of a way to go, and we don't even realize this is all part of the strategic plan. And we look back and say, "Oh, wow, that was actually a strategic plan."
It really was. I even had this conversation last night with my one of my children, who I always thought of a house on a hill. When I look back, as I've mentioned before, it wasn't the hill that I had envisioned or had planned, but that basic strategic plan led me to unconsciously to a piece of property where, as you know, the old barn is on a hill.
It definitely is a beautiful view out over the
mountain.
Thank you.
So it's very important to strategic planning.
Yeah. Beautiful.
Or to have a plan. Yes.
I love that. That really, the tool that I'm going to be sharing in the masterclass today, that strategic planning and strategic plan is a very key part of this tool that I'm going to be sharing. Thank you. Phil, and then Kathy.
So I'm grateful to know that God has a strategic plan for me, and that though I have agency, I really can't screw it up. And what came to me was as a GPS system, and there being a destination chosen. And sometimes I think I know the best route. And what happens is I get rerouted. And so it doesn't make where I'm going wrong. It just makes where I'm going longer. And so if I don't listen to inspiration, if I decide to go on my own, if I decide to go and make my own choices that lead me away from the destination, God is always right there, just rerouting me. He's just right there saying,
recalculating.
Recalculate. And he's the master organizer. And that's really what we're becoming, our master organizers. And we're not going to learn unless we go through those experiences of whatever that journey leads on that rerouting place, wherever that takes us. That's what causes us to learn. And so I'm just so grateful for the plan. I just don't have the power to screw it up. I don't have knowledge to screw it up. I don't have enough information to screw it up. And he's take whatever it is, whatever breaks, and he's going to put it back in order and reroute me. So
yeah. Oh, I love that. What a great visual to that's a great analogy, that GPS. And now, even like in real time, it's like there's an accident 5 miles ahead. We're going to take you this way now instead, to avoid, delays. So I love that analogy. Thank you. Kathy, and then Mary.
What came up for me was learning the plan, God's plan for us. And it came to me more poetic than usually. I wrote God's plan for us each individually, and how we play roles, doing our part, and that tapestry that gets formed and woven as we all play our parts, interwoven together to create God's great masterpiece, intertwining all of our lives together.
Wow, really beautiful. Yes, you should really put that in a frame or something. It's really beautiful. Thank you. Mary.
Mine was quite simple, but I love what's being said. And I remember as a child being led by the heart and living by the heart. And yet there came a point where everything had to be in the head. It went from my heart to my head, and now it's going back to my heart. So there's this strategic plan. My strategy is to lead by the heart, to have the other person's well-being in mind, to know what my plan is for them, but not really know. I mean, I know what my plan is. My plan is to lead and to get inspiration and to just be in love with life and let that lead me. So there must be, there is a strategic plan, but my strategy is to just be in the moment.
Beautiful.
And trust that.
I think that's probably the best strategic plan. My strategic plan is to be led by inspiration and just to be in love always. I was thinking about Tammy, who's on this call today. We were on our Architecture of Life mentoring call yesterday, and she shared that her marketing strategy was to be led by inspiration, to be open to be prepared to receive the people who were led to her. So instead of like this marketing plan where you're going out to find people and to, create sales funnels or whatever, her strategic marketing plan was to be prepared to receive. And I was just wanted to just celebrate because that really is what it's all about. I mean, we have the best chance of serving people in the way that God has in mind when we just allow him to lead and guide us to those people that we're to serve. Of course, we do need to take action when we receive those inspired shortcuts of, how to serve these people. But yeah, just being open to that inspiration is a great strategic plan. Thank you. Any other thoughts? Amelia? We'll go Tyree and then Amelia.
My 90-day goal is that I've been working on is to build confidence in myself and in Christ. And just in the past few days, I have spiraled. I very quickly spiraled down on Monday, and I just felt so low. And then I've slowly been working back out of that. And I realized that God always, just like you were talking about with Phil, he always has a way to reroute and to help when we get stuck in one of those construction or road blocks or whatever. And how when we truly look to him and build that trust, and that was the first word that came to me, is trust. When we truly trust him and trust ourselves that we have the ability to follow him and that we will, then we are in that space to be guided, like Tammy was talking about yesterday.
Beautiful. Thank you. Absolutely true. And I just confirm that is true. Thank you. Building that confidence. Amelia.
I guess the thing that came to my mind was when you said strategic plan, is that everything is by divine design. And I didn't really quite know what that meant until in the past maybe three years or so. I've been kind of learning more to actually listen and act on inspiration and even recognizing revelation for myself and my family. And it's been a very kind of intense journey, I guess. But just recently, just a little thing that happened that made me think of the big strategic plan, that we can't see everything. And there's the family of my sister-in-law had a death in the family. It was her grandpa. And her mom said that they were asking around for someone to play the violin. And so, of course, they thought of me because I played my violin at Christmas. I've played a few Christmas songs, and I am not an amazing violin player at all. I can play well enough. I could probably play a little hymn in sacrament meeting or something. And so they asked me, and at first I just said, no, absolutely not. That's, I've hardly played, I've been barely maintaining my talent. Over the past 10 years, 12, 13, whatever, since I got married and had kids. And I just felt like I should go look in the simplified hymn book at the hymn that they were asking. And I opened it up and I looked at it, and I just thought, this isn't so bad, and I didn't recognize it at the time, but of course that was the Spirit, saying, go and look at this song, and so I did. And so I went back and I told them, I'll do it. It's not a hard song. That's fine. I can do that. And anyways, I had this little spiritual journey, and I made a little arrangement of the song, and I practiced and watched videos and just kind of poured my heart and soul into it like I never had with my music for a long, long time, probably never before, really. And it was such an interesting, touching experience. And I felt this connection and bond with the man, with the grandpa or the father who had passed away recently. And then they also told me that the mom cried when I said yes. And I was kind of shocked, like, why would she cry? But just that experience of getting to go out and perform it, and I arrange it and perform it, not just play it straight through, but actually I added in some little, to like help it. And I don't know how to do that. I've never done that before in my life,
Wow.
Not on my own. And so I was led by the Spirit to create that. And then when I performed it, I even kind of knew that I knew it wasn't going to go perfectly because I'm not, perfect at it, but it went. I just prayed that that the people would feel the Spirit and feel comfort and peace in this time. And it was an incredible experience for me to actually follow through with that, something that was so scary and uncomfortable. And I was shaking like crazy when I first stood up there, and the first two notes I'm sure sounded pretty crazy, but but after I got pushed through those first 2 notes, then I was able to actually play the song, and it was just really neat.
Beautiful. Thank you so much for sharing that wonderful story. And I think that part of the strategic plan is that if we can go and, it might seem like this huge task, but if we can see this one little simple thing and say, okay, well, I can do that. And we can just enough to say yes and put one toe outside of our comfort zone, then you created something that if you had seen this arrangement at the very beginning, you would have said, oh no, I can't do that. I don't know how to arrange. I don't know how to, you would have totally said no to that. But you were able to see that there was a simple thing. It was just a simple thing. And then he was able to expand you because you're willing to step out, just even to put that little toe out of your comfort zone and create something wonderful. Beautiful. Thank you. Any last thoughts before we shift over to our permission process? Let's go ahead and take a deep breath. I feel like this is just a really great space. Amelia has created a really wonderful example of how God works with us in his strategic plan. He never gives us this overwhelming thing. It might seem overwhelming to begin with, but when we really look at it, it's just one simple act, just one simple inspired shortcut. That's all he asks, just to do this one thing. And then we do that one thing, and then we're out of our comfort zone, and then he can really work with us. And so let's go ahead and just have an individual experience like that right now. Just go ahead and take a deep breath. And allow your mind and heart to be open to something in your life that maybe has seemed overwhelming. Maybe you have shied away from it. You've held yourself back from it because it just seems too big, too important, too scary, whatever it is. And just allow that to come to you. There's going to be a specific experience that you get to see the strategic plan today. So whatever that situation is that has seemed really big or scary to you, just allow yourself to be inspired as to one simple thing, one simple act, your inspired shortcut, the one most important thing that you could do just to put your toe outside of your comfort zone. Just allow yourself to step forward in just a simple way. Even if it's just to create the illusion of having been successful at this. Even if it's just a little tiny piece of evidence, just one little tiny thing, one little simple thing that will put you on the path. And as you're understanding what that one simple thing is, also listen for all the limiting beliefs that might be coming up about stepping out, stepping away from your comfort zone and stepping into this new plan. And those limiting beliefs, what is the cost of holding on to those? If you look at allow yourself to see the bigger strategic plan where this one little tiny simple inspired shortcut is putting you on the path to, and look at the bigger strategic plan. If you hold on to this limiting belief, what effect is that going to have on the full strategic plan that God has in store for you? And if you don't like the outcome, you don't like what that limiting belief is doing for God's strategic plan, then you can give yourself permission to let go of that limiting belief and choose something different. So if you're ready to let go of that limiting belief and choose something different, say yes.
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 Awesome. So once you have decided, you've given yourself permission to let go of those limiting beliefs, then we need to replace it with some new beliefs. And what new beliefs will align with you, even just taking that one tiny step, the courage that it takes to do that one inspired shortcut today. What are you going to feel after you take that inspired shortcut today? What is the new beliefs that you will have about yourself after you have taken that one step in this strategic plan? Allow yourself to actually, in your mind, in your imagination, take that first step, do that inspired shortcut today. And what is the feeling that you have about yourself? What I am statement can you create that gives a good definition of the character trait that you have developed, even just by taking that one step? And then what is possible once you take that first small step? When you look at God's strategic plan, just you taking that one step and getting onto the path of this plan, what's possible? And create some new beliefs about the possibilities. And when you have 2 or 3 new beliefs, I invite you to really bring those in, take a deep breath and bring those into your body so that you can feel them making changes within your body. Even your cellular makeup is becoming new. Your identity of yourself is being changed. Who you see yourself as is different. And this is all part of the strategic plan. You must become someone different if you're going to receive something different and be able to keep it. If you're going to create lasting change, you have to become someone different. And so allow your very identity to be changed. Allow yourself to become that person that can fulfill this strategic plan that God has for you. And be open also to know what are next steps. Maybe you are in a place now where you can actually be open to receive even more, that it's not just the one inspired shortcut, the little toe outside of the comfort zone. Maybe you can actually see now that, oh, I actually see what this plan's all about, where it's taking me, what I'm going to learn, how this is going to affect other people. And so any other pieces of the plan that you can see, and any other specific steps that you yourself can take, strategically plan for yourself to be able to implement those things that you're seeing, those new steps that you're seeing. And as we come to the close of this vision, of this meditation, and in a moment I'm going to be inviting you back to the present to be able to share some of your thoughts if you would like to. I just invite you one last time to get a full picture of this strategic plan, seeing from God's view and where the strategic plan is taking you. And draw a picture or write whatever words to capture that vision that is beyond what your earthly eyes can see, but seeing things from God's perspective. And when you come back to the present, I invite you to gain even more clarity and to put this on your vision board so that you can maintain that focus on your destination and also the commitment and the trust that you have that God has the strategic plan in place, and that He's going to give you every step of the way. And you can just take action on those. So go ahead and come back to the present. And as you're coming back and gathering your thoughts, I just want to also offer myself as a resource along your path. If that is part of your strategic plan, to reach out to me. I would love to have a 15-minute conversation with you. All you have to do is just go to askwylene.com and you can schedule a 15-minute call with me, askwylene.com. Who has something they would like to share about their experience today? Phil.
So my inspired shortcut is to just step forward in the snow. But my limiting belief is that I'm predicting, that it's going to be cold, mm-hmm. and that there could be an accident, and that I I might not be able to do what it is that I'm inspired to do.
Mm-hmm.
And so my new belief is that that I am capable and able to move forward no matter what situation there is.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's awesome. What a simple act. Step forward in the snow. But as you can see, there are limiting beliefs that come up even with a simple act. And there are predictions about the negative outcome of this if I step forward in the snow. And what a great challenge for you to follow through with this one simple inspired shortcut, because obviously if you can't follow through with this, if there was something that was a little more difficult, then you might not be trusted with it. So I'm excited for you to take action on that inspired shortcut. That's cool. Mary.
Wow, my simple step is to go ahead and book this appointment and to have a conversation with someone.
Mm-hmm.
And my limiting belief was, well, what about the other? Wait, I thought it was doing this other thing, and how can I do both? And how can I afford both? And blah, it's like, well, there's confusion,
Mm-hmm.
but I entertain all that. But anything I see, this is what I got. The new beliefs are anything I see is possible.
Mm-hmm.
Anything that I see that comes to me is possible.
Mm.
I see me as an inspirational speaker. I see me as a transformational speaker. I facilitate next steps for others. And I facilitate courage, and I inspire clear openings.
Wow, super powerful. You're absolutely right. And we know that when you can see it, it's possible.
Yeah, I trust. Trust is my word today.
Beautiful. I love that. I'm excited to see how that, to hear how that inspired next step, inspired shortcut works out for you. That's awesome.
Thank you.
That's huge. It's huge to learn that skill of trust. Crystal.
So, I struggle sometimes knowing how to be a mother. Each one of my children is like this, their own self. And I'm kind of asking God to kind of help me see their spirit, see their soul.
Mm-hmm.
And because, I haven't wanted to control them. I want them to become who they are meant to become. And so I'm just going to do my inspired shortcut, which is just to text each one of them or write one sentence to them. And anyway, I know that's very simple, but
that's okay. That's exactly the way God works. It's a simple step. And the cool part is this is his strategic plan. His strategic plan, all you have to do today is just one simple text, one sentence. That's all you have to do today. And that leads to something else, which leads to something else, which leads to something else. And we don't know what that strategic plan is. So, our tendency sometimes is, oh, I'm going to send one text and then I'm going to do this, and then I'm going to do this, and then I'm going to do this. And it feels like that's my inspired shortcut. But my inspired shortcut was just to send one sentence. So thank you. I also want to just read what Phil had written. Even when you can't see it, it's possible. It was possible for men to fly in airplanes before people could see that happened. But it took one person, at least one person that had that vision to be able to actually make it possible. Thank you. But it is possible even if you can't see it. Mary, did you have something else you wanted to add?
Yeah, just one thing. It's like it's there for me to follow. If I see it, I follow it.
Yes, I love that. Yes, if you see it, then it is yours. That's a key part. Thank you.
Like the Wright brothers saw it.
Yes,
they saw
exactly.
It. They did.
It was theirs.
And they followed it. Mm-hmm, right.
Beautiful. Thank you. Well, I would love to continue having shares. These are all really beautiful. I encourage you to go to our Breakthrough with Gratitude Facebook group, share your thoughts there. Want to just remind you, if you have not registered for the masterclass today at 1 o'clock, to do so. Just go to my social media, any of my Facebook or Instagram has the link there posted today. And I'll be excited to see you there. And then we will be back together on our gratitude call tomorrow morning, 7 a.m. Mountain Standard Time. So thank you.
Thank you.
Love you guys.
Thank you.
Love you too.
Love you guys.
Hey, thanks so much for listening. And I encourage you to tune in every day to the Daily Gratitude Call. And the Daily Gratitude Call happens live every weekday morning. I'd love to have you join. So to find out how to join live, go to my website, WileenBenson.com. Thanks for tuning in.